part 6 of writing skill, which is misplaced modifier. Last time we tried to see dangling. It is the sixth part of sentence error, which is misplaced. You know what misplaced mean? Misplaced means wrong place of words or wrong place of words which modify nouns and pronouns. So we can say that misplaced modifier. You know, a modifier which doesn't modify, which doesn't describe, which doesn't say something about the word it modifies or the phrases it modifies, which is misplaced modifiers, it means. Or the modifiers and the modifiers which it wants to modify is placed in a separate place. So that's called misplaced modifier. If they are misplaced, the meaning is distorted. So we are in confusion to understand the meaning of that sentence because of misplaced modifier. So this is the total definition of misplaced modifier means. Definition of misplaced. So it is different from dangling modifier. When you think about dangling, the two subjects are different. When you think about misplaced, the adjectives or the words that it wants us to modify is in a wrong place. So the meaning is distorted or meaningless sentence. So we are in confusion to understand that kind of sentence it means. So this is what's called misplaced modifiers here. Yes, and because of the separation, the sentence which this error has found awkward, ridiculous, or confusion. Ridiculous means as soon as we cannot get anything from the sentence because they are misplaced. The word is modified. The phrase it modifies doesn't place in the correct place, so that's misplaced modifier. Simply it's a kind of writing, so we cannot get a coherence, meaning of sentences, meaning of writing sentence, incoherent sentence, so misplaced modifier, misplaced modifier. It can usually be corrected by moving the modifier in the correct place, so this is a way of correcting misplaced modifier. Ways of correcting. We bring that modifier and adjust it in the right place to modify what it wants us to modify, correcting the modifiers here. So here, moving the modifier to a more sensible place in the sentence, so next to the word it modifies, as I said. So this is more misplaced mean, yeah. And here, examples for modifiers. Some of the common words or adverbs which commonly make misplaced modifiers are only, just, nearly, mainly, and almost. They are often placed in a wrong place, so they are misplaced modifier. Most of the sentence consists of these words, and we can just insert or use these modifiers in the wrong place, so it makes sentence errors. That kind of sentence error is misplaced because the positions or the place where we adjust, we see it, we insert this word is in the wrong way, in the wrong place, so they are called misplaced modifier, it means. So we have to take care of these words. Where do we use these words? Where do we insert these words? What are the correct place for inserting these words and make meaningful sentences? So that's the way. The place where we use only in different ways, but the meaning is different. The place we use just in different ways, but the meaning is different. It seems meaningful, but it's completely meaningless. So to get a meaningful sentence, we have to have a skill of adjusting or using or writing these words in the correct place. So these are some of the words which make us misplaced modifier here. Let me give you some examples regarding about these words here. He nearly drove the car for 6 hours a day. Look here, nearly. He nearly drove the car. If you see just the sentence here, nearly drove the car, the word nearly seems to modify drove, but drove doesn't have the same meaning with nearly, or nearly doesn't describe this one, or drove doesn't be modified by nearly. So the place is misplaced, wrong place. This is not the correct place to modify what it wants to modify, nearly. So misplaced modifier. So I have to aware of the word here. Where do I use nearly? What does it want to modify? Basic thing that I want to ask my mind about to write the sentence correctly, it means. So nearly it needs what? A kind of word, a kind of numbers. Nearly 4, nearly 5, nearly 6. It's almost 5. It's about 5. It's about 6, it means. So it needs numbers rather than a kind of verbs here. So we have to find out any kind of numbers here, and I can close to the word number here. So this is the ways of creating this misplaced modifier. So here, he drove the car for nearly 6 hours. Exactly. Nearly modifies about what? The number 6 hours. Nearly 6 hours? Right. So it modifies 6 hours, not the word drove here. So this is called misplaced. So I can correct this nearly in the right place, and this sentence is meaningful. Another example here. She served ice cream to the children on plates. Well, what does ice cream mean? It's a kind of food, yes? Sweet food. So what does it want to modify? You know, ice cream. Where do I put ice cream? To the children? To the children? To the children, which is prepositional phrase, doesn't want to modify by an ice cream kind of food. No. Ice cream needs what? Where do we situate ice cream? On plates. So this word, this word, and these phrases are in a separate place, so we cannot get meaning here. To get a meaning, we have to just bring this ice cream close to the word it modifies, and it gives meaning. Absolutely right. So we can write here, she served the children ice cream on plates. She served what? The children. What does she serve to the children? Ice cream. On what? What on what? On plates. Yeah? So this ice cream modifies on a kind of objects. A kind of object on plates. So this is the second example of most misplaced modifier. The third example, on his way home, Marcos found a woman's diamond ring. Yeah? Marcos found a woman's diamond ring. Yeah, absolutely right. It's incorrect because here is a woman's dad. Yeah, the place is here, diamond ring, which is a modifier, misplaced. So we cannot get anything here because the word it modifies is not situated in the right way. So this dangling modifier. On his way home, Marcos found a diamond. Woman's, not woman's diamond. This word modifies the noun woman, but woman doesn't modify this noun diamond. Wrong uses, separate modifiers, no meaning. So we have to take care of it. We have to identify what is the function of diamond here. What does it want us to modify? The woman's what? The woman's ring. So this is the right ways of creating this dangling or misplaced modifiers. Another example, misplaced modifier. Only he gave me 200 birr to clean all his side works. Yeah? Only he gave me. What does only means? Look at, when I start about this modifier, special only, it has a meaning. The meaning doesn't have similar with the underlying number here. Only he means no one else except he, it means. Only he means no one else gave me 200 birr except he. It has a meaning. But there is a modifier which is wrongly placed. That is, yes, he gave me only 200 birr. He gave me only 200 birr. To what? To clean all his side works. So here, only 200 birr, appropriate place, because the place where the modifier is here, it doesn't modify about 200 birr because of the meaning of the sentence. So we bring this modifier in the right place, and it modifies about the amount of birr to do that activity. Yes, right. And the other one, the other examples here, people laugh really are sad. Yes, people who laugh really are sad. People who laugh really are sad. What does this mean? Where do we use this really? It's a kind of adversarial manner. What are the correct position of using really? This is complete. So we cannot get anything here. This kind of sentence is sentence error. So what kind? Misplaced modifier. Because the place where we use really is not in the right place. So it doesn't want to modify here, but it wants to modify what is laugh it means. So laugh is modified by really. Yes? People who rarely laugh are sad. People who rarely, seldom it means, seldom ever. So people who rarely laughed are sad. So rarely comes before the word laugh. So it wants to modify the word laugh rather than just modify are sad. It means because this is a verb and this is an adjective. So ways of correcting here is people who rarely laugh are sad. I'm talking about people who rarely are sad, who rarely laugh are sad, who usually laugh are sad, who always laugh are sad, who sometimes laugh are sad. This is the right ways of writing complete sentence, rather than using such kinds of segregated words or segregated or distorted meanings of words to write a meaningful sentence. It means so. All these examples show what misplaced modifiers and how we correct misplaced modifiers. And misplaced modifier is different from that of dangling modifier, and dangling is different from fragment, and comma splice is still a run-on sentence. If you know all these types of run-on sentences, I'm sure you will write an interesting and smart sentences and smart essays and smart paragraphs. So there is a skill of writing. This is all about the lesson, but I'll repeat once. Don't forget, please subscribe my channel and write comments and like my channel. Next, we are going to see subject-verb agreement. Till then, bye.